Welcome to this episode of the Conscious Business Coffee Break, where we take a few moments to explore what's happening in the conscious business movement, expand awareness, and encourage your efforts in conscious business. Greetings, everyone. I'm Stephen Donaco of the Conscious Business Enterprise, a division of Humanities team. And today on the program, we're talking about maximizing your impact by supporting conscious companies. And it's a pleasant day here where I live in Valparaiso, Indiana today. It's sunny, it's mild, and it's very likely that sometime during the day I'm going to take a little break. And I live within walking distance of our city's old downtown area, and perhaps get a coffee or tea and maybe something light to eat. So, uh, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to do that and to have this available to me here in this town. Uh, so I'm looking forward to that today. And if I were to continue walking down the street, and actually, if I were to get in my car more likely and go past the old downtown, I would eventually get to the area of the city where all of the big box stores are. And I could, find places to eat. Probably actually have more places to eat or get something to drink, and even more options for shopping if I wanted to do that. Now, however, as a conscious business change agent, conscious business professional, conscious consumer, uh, I'm focused and my intention is to support uh, the local businesses where I live. And a lot of us have this opportunity as well. Now, not all of us do, depending on where we live. You might only have access to larger big box type stores, but I would say if you're living in any kind of larger, more populated area, uh, and I'm originally from Chicago, so even in Chicago, in the neighborhoods, there are a lot of smaller, independently owned businesses mixed in with larger commercial retail areas. And you have a choice. You can support those local businesses, or you can support those larger businesses, which tend to be clustered together. And sometimes it's more convenient to go there because all of these things are in one place. Whereas neighborhood stores might be sort of scattered about. Now, fortunately, like where I'm at in Valparaiso, the downtown, all of the little stores, cafes, coffee shops. There's a pharmacy. There's a couple of clothing stores, restaurants, breweries, and even um, some light grocery options. All of that's in a pretty localized area, and it's all available within walking distance, which is great. So I'm grateful for that. And and appealing to you as a conscious consumer and conscious business person, invite you to seek those gems out wherever you are, wherever you live, and to support them. Now, and often when I look at these places, and I don't patronize every single one of them because my tastes for what I want to have either in a small boutique or a clothing store or in a cafe is going to differ from somebody else's. But what I do look for is also to what extent are these local businesses supporting other local businesses. And if I know that they're sourcing, if let's say it's a cafe, I know if they're sourcing food locally from local farms, and if it's a coffee shop, let's say, and I know they're bringing coffee in that's free trade, I'm more likely to support those kinds of businesses because they also have a social awareness, a social consciousness, and they are showing up as positive members of the local and global community. So it's something that I'm mindful of when I go out and I patronize businesses in my town. Now, if you're a business owner, I wanted to draw your attention to a couple of items that I'll post in the comments to the video. One, they're both from the B Corp movement. And one is an article called "Are You Maximizing Your Impact by Supporting Other Conscious Companies?" And essentially, this article is encouraging you, if you're a business owner, to really think about your supply chain. And whether, if you're considering yourself to be a purpose-driven business, consider all of your vendors in your supply chain. And are you supporting those who are also purpose-driven and are socially responsible? Because the article actually says you'd be surprised how many purpose-driven businesses don't provide that kind of support of their supply chains, and that they might be sourcing from more traditional, less conscious companies. So the idea with the article, the theme of the article is that that as purpose-driven companies, we are all in this together, that this is a shared mission. It's not just a localized mission by one company without regard for all of the companies that feed into it to supply it. And then to go a little bit deeper into that, if you're a business owner, there's a link that I'll post also to a best practice guide, creating impact through purchasing. So this guide that I'll link you to also from B Corp, or specifically the B Lab, which is the movement part of that organization. It's a guide that can walk you through and give you resources to research the best places within your supply chain to find those sources and those companies who are purpose-driven. So that if you're a purpose-driven business and you're practicing social responsibility and environmental responsibility, you can find other companies from which you source that are doing the exact same thing, and therefore then we're doing this all together. So look for those links in the video subsequent to the completion of my comments here today. And hopefully where you're at today, you have a chance to get outside on this Friday and just patronize one of your local businesses. Have a meal, a cup of coffee, a tea, or anything else that you might need, and just go out and do that consciously, happily, and joyfully. So with that, wish you all a beautiful weekend. In the United States, it's our Labor Day weekend, so have a joyful, extra long weekend. And then we'll see you again next week on Wednesday, 9 a.m. U.S. Central Time for another edition of the Conscious Business Coffee Break. Have a great day, everyone.